From ag-related automation to beautiful natural resources, we're committed to advancing you and putting the region on the map. GreenSeam is here to shape the future of agricultural, business, and communities where fertile land meets technology and people come together to feed the world. We are GreenSeam. All right, well, welcome back to the GreenSeam Show, and today we are joined by Miss Lindsay, and how do you say your last name?
Tonne.
Lindsay Tonne. I like it. It's a little French to it. Lindsay Tonne. And Lindsay, I understand that you're an MSU student.
Yes.
Very cool. And studying?
Business management with a minor in egg business.
Business management, a minor in egg business.
Yes.
Very cool. And you are a?
Senior.
So you were just about ready.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Last semester.
Nervous.
You have to enjoy it while you can.
Yes.
Yeah, since the last year was taken away. But
no kidding.
Exactly. So I understand you're doing an internship. Tell us a little bit about preferred capital management. This is where the internship's going on?
Yep.
All right. And what exactly are you doing there for them?
So I'm working pretty much right with the CEO of the company, mostly helping with a key client of theirs. One of their key clients was transitioning to a bigger entity. So they were combining two different companies into basically one. So they were starting from the ground up again. And I was there to help them with that transition.
Very cool. So within that, so if that was the big picture of what was happening, what specifically were you doing on a daily basis?
Mostly their accounts payable stuff.
Okay.
Getting new contracts ready for the new entity. Just a kind of a bunch of odd and ends sort of stuff.
Very cool. And so this process, right? MSU gets you hooked up. There's a advisor there named Shane. Did he make the connection originally?
No, he did not. I pretty much kind of found it by myself, but he kind of helped me along the way a little bit.
So you get the internship set up, right? Mm-hmm. You walk in on the first day. Talk me through that experience of showing up there on the first day.
I really wasn't sure what to expect, honestly. Because, I mean, you have your normal part-time job, but it's nothing you normally do on a daily basis. But for the most part, it was they helped you out. It was more of a team effort than just throwing you out by yourself.
Yeah. They're not like, hey, take over this merger.
Yep, pretty much.
Welcome.
Welcome. I hear that you're an intern. Will you just go ahead and take
Here's
over
all this stuff for you. I'll let you just drown in it.
Yes.
M&A.
So, obviously, they've done a little bit of hand-holding with you. What have you learned? Because now you're 3 months into this process, right? Mm-hmm. What have you learned going through this process and watching how this actually happens?
It was just nice to know that what I always expected when I was thinking about getting a full-time job after college. I was like, oh, am I just going to be thrown into this new job and not have an idea what's going on? That was not the case at all. They just help you. It's, like I said, it's more of a team effort than anything in any business, I think.
Very cool.
Was this your first internship experience? And
yes.
so you really had no idea
No idea.
Yeah,
no.
What's this going to be like?
What's this going to be like?
It was a new adventure, that's for sure.
Harder or easier than originally what you had kind of anticipated?
It was a little bit harder than I was expecting, I guess.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In particular, why?
Just because I did put to use some of the stuff that I learned in school, and so learning most of the stuff that I had to put to use in school was mostly what I learned online.
Yeah.
So that was a hard part for me.
So you go from learning it online where you're like, it doesn't really matter if I mail it in on this one to people's lives and paychecks and are actually all on the line.
Yeah.
And it's me that's going to get the thumbs up or the thumbs down at the end of this process.
And the nice thing is if you make a mistake, it's always easily fixable.
So you're going to go and do another internship?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe.
You're not sure yet?
Maybe.
I always tell people internships are kind of like dating. It's okay to try a few of them before you're ready to settle down, right? And that's probably true for most people. Not everyone. Sometimes people meet somebody and then they decide to get married to that person right away. Is it always the best idea?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's a good idea, and jobs are like that too. So always keep that in the back of your mind as you go from there. Preferred capital management. Explain to me what exactly they do.
So they manage a bunch of hog operations across Minnesota, mostly okay. Minnesota, I should say. There's some in Iowa, some in Wisconsin, but they're based out of Fairmont, Minnesota, so they're a small business technically.
Okay. Is it family run?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
But most hog operations are family run, so then they just help those family farms control like their finances and the whole process of the hog operation.
So they're helping on the business side.
Yep.
Saying, okay, we've been doing hogs for 40 years with our family. Grandpa's getting older. It's time to switch this to a new way of doing this. And then they'll step in.
Yep.
And then you get to actually be a part of that. That's a way cool job.
Yeah.
That's a way cool job, because what it is you're coming in at the critical time, and you're coming in with critical information based on other people that you've helped through this process. Yeah. And you're bringing that to the table saying, here's a new way to do this.
It kind of relieves the stress on the farmers too.
Yeah. That they can pawn it off on you. I like that. Very cool. So let's go back to your schooling part of this. You're 1 year out, and then you will be ready to go into the workforce. Are you going to stick around here, or are you going off to greener pastures and warmer weather?
So far I've kind of had some opportunities back home.
Okay. And home again is?
Fairmont.
Okay.
Minnesota.
That would still be around here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
If you're going to Fairmont, you're not really
It's about
leaving.
an hour.
You're still coming back to Mankato to do your big boy shopping.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably stick around here just because it's rural Minnesota, and that's just what I'm used to.
Yeah. What is the comfort zone there?
So I grew up on a farm, so I'm just familiar with the farm sort of side of it, I guess. And it's just always been familiar to me, and I just kind of miss it when I'm up here.
Yeah. This is home. Talk about the family side. This type of business, working for Preferred Capital Management, is there a focus on giving you the flexibility to have a family and have hobbies and other things that are outside of that? Have you had any good sense for that yet, or not really?
They do give you the option if you want to work from home, you can.
Yeah.
But it's not always a need to be there sort of office, I guess.
Yeah.
But there are times where they do have to be in the office to meet with clients or go out and meet clients or something like that.
Yeah. But at least the impression has been that if you need to go to your dentist appointment, if you need to have a family thing, that's an okay part of being a part of that business.
Yes,
that's such a cool thing. It's not the super corporate downtown
make the time
Minneapolis.
up on the weekend.
Yeah. Make the time up on we'll give you 12 hours
Make
off.
sure you
whatever.
put in a time off request. No, they don't have any sorts of things like that.
It's just be
They're
conscious
not,
about it. And I think that's part of the beauty of working here in the middle of the Midwest is we do have just those real frank conversations where it's like, hey, on Tuesday my kid's playing basketball. I want to go for 4 hours.
Early,
and people are like, okay, right? Versus if you're working downtown Minneapolis, you're putting, like you said, you're putting in a time request saying, hey, in 2 weeks from now, can I go for 2 hours or whatever?
Right.
It's
Just to ask
totally
permission to
different
go to your
vibe.
child's game.
And I think that's part of what's so beautiful about the middle of the Midwest like this is, and even just with people working with GreenSeam, it seems like a lot of these clients that you guys have value that family aspect to the point that it's a conversation, not necessarily put something on paper on purpose ahead of time.
Yep.
So, cool. Anything else that we should know? Let me ask you this. The education at MSU has helped get you ready for this type of internship?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Speak to that specifically with what you've been going through with this merger.
They've dealt with accounting. I haven't really, just knowing the terms pretty much. The accounting terms were a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And just helping them guide them through the right financials and stuff like that.
Yeah. And sitting down with something that's so critical of what's happening with your finances. It's amazing
Knowing
to me
what's
how
going on.
Yeah,
Reading a balance sheet.
Yeah.
you can have business owners that can crush it and can be horrible business owners. Right? They're crushing it because they're always working in their job instead of on their job. And sometimes it takes somebody that's a consultant coming in to kind of help take it to the next step. Anything else? Going once?
Let's take a step back. Grew up in the Fairmont area. Growing up, did you see yourself going to MSU, Mankato, to go into, financial management, capital management, ending back up in Fairmont? Can you just walk through a little bit about what you wanted to do and a little bit of the path that you took and kind of what was happening?
Honestly, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was just applying to a bunch of different colleges, just hoping I'd find a path. And I knew I wanted to stay close to home, so I picked MSU. And then one thing sort of led to another, and I was like, business, it's a wide variety of options. And then they added their egg program, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where I've ended up now.
Very cool. And the neat thing about it is what is all capable within that program, the amount of hats that you can wear. It's really a paint your own picture type of situation is what we've learned about it.
What advice would you have for somebody that hasn't grown up on a farm or that doesn't really quite understand what agriculture is all about? How would you describe it to them? And
I would say just, even if you don't know anything about it, just put yourself out there, because there's so many opportunities in agriculture that no one even knows about. You don't need an ag background, but it does help, but I'd say it really wouldn't be necessary.
Go and do the schooling. Well, thank you so much for spending a little time with us and sharing us a little bit about your story, and richest blessings on your next coming endeavor. We'll talk to you guys sooner rather than later.
Thanks, Lindsay.